I'm Taylor Dumar, and I'm going to show you how great I am.
Woo!
I'm Justin Orlando, and the 45th president in the United States is Joe Biden.
I'm Mason Arsenault. I'm a bad man!
I'm Austin Skoglin.
I'm Caleb Sanders. It's game day.
You know what that means. Taylor Dumar inspirational quote.
Tommy Hartman. Dumar is just such a good player. And he says, let's go! Let's go!
Taylor Dumar, number one. Man, where do I start with Dumar? He's always known how to brighten the mood at practice. He's a kid that no matter what, no matter the weather, no matter the mood, he was out there having fun, bringing us up. You know, if it was quiet, you know, those mornings it was 30 degrees and sleet, and all of a sudden you'd hear, I'm going to show you how great I am. You know, he's always yelling that, so everybody knows Dumar's at practice, you know. He made a light out of a bad situation. You know, he really helped the team be a leader for the team, really pushed us, and really made sure that every day he brought 100%. With Dumar, you really had to pull him off if you wanted anything from him, because he's going to get 110% every time. So, Dumar, man, thanks for having that awesome personality to bring in positive light, practice every day. Man, we're sure going to miss you, and I know you're going to do big things in the future, man. Good luck.
Cooper Dupree, he's a really good player. He's really encouraging guys, and one really funny thing is he likes to tell jokes to me.
Tommy and Cooper were best buds in the locker room.
One thing us, the O-line, and Cooper Dupree have in common is we both have the same number of touchdown catches this season.
Cooper was really respectful with college coaches in their texting, really respectful.
Cooper was a great leader, great role model, like on a serious note, especially for people like Tommy on the team. He actually convinced him to shave his own legs.
Coop, it's your wide receiver buddy, and I just want to let you know you are terrible at golf and should always stick to football, my man, all right? Just stick to football.
Okay, Cooper, number 3, wide receiver for us the past couple of years. It's a kid that has an impact on me and my family. You know, he's a kid that really has had to battle the past few years with injuries, injuries that most kids wouldn't come back from. You know, so he's really pushed himself to become a better athlete and get over those nagging injuries. He showed a lot of resilience fighting through those injuries and continue to be part of the team each day. For those who don't know, I have a son named Cooper too, and so naturally my little one's the number one fan of Cooper Dupree on the Vandergrift Vipers. He actually got to where he wanted Cooper's number for baseball, just wanted to be like Coop. You know, in every game, he's like, where's Coop at? Where's Coop? And, you know, Cooper would take time out of, you know, seeing his family and doing everything after the game and come over to my son and give him a hug, take a picture with him, really make my kid feel special. So I think that was pretty big for me as a coach, really seeing the kid take time out of his day to make my kid's day. You know, so Coop, I really appreciate that. Continue to do what you're doing, man. You're going to do big things, and good luck in the future.
Hi, I'm Tommy Hartman. Caleb Sanders, he's a really good leader, obviously a really good captain, and he sometimes could calm me down when I'm really mad, and he likes to do that, and sometimes he's a really good leader. Obviously, I'm going to miss him a lot, and, you know, he's going to do great things at UMHB, where his brother is at right now, and, yeah, Caleb's going to be a great leader.
Pick check.
Woo! Number 8.
Big Sandy beats Baylor fan any day of the week in Rocket League.
When I think of Caleb, I think of my 2 sons and the lessons I was able to teach them through Caleb this year. I think about how from the first time I met Caleb to the last time I got to coach him, he was all in. Caleb started the year with huge plays to keep us in games and some to help us win games. A great block and a great back corner touchdown against Cedar Park and a touchdown that got our offense going against Vista Ridge for a big district win. Caleb suffered an injury during our McNeil game that would keep him out into the playoffs, but I watched him rehab every day and also find ways to serve and lead his teammates as a captain. Caleb found a way to get back on the field as we started our playoff run against San Antonio Roosevelt and had several key blocks to open up our running game. He followed up with 3 big receptions in our last 2 games versus San Antonio, Brennan, and Hayes. As a coach, it's a difficult thing to watch a player suffer adversity, but it's a special thing when you witness that a player stand up and show what's inside of him during that time. I'm thankful I had the opportunity to get to coach Caleb his senior year, and I'm thankful my sons got to see what overcoming adversity looks like. Caleb will continue his playing career as a Crusader at the University of Mary Hardin-Baylor.
So Connor Murphy's a great leader. Sadly, that his season ended with an injury during our fall scrimmage, and I'm gonna miss him by a lot. And he's gonna be a great friend, a great leader, and great emotional guy. And he's a really good player.
Yeah, there you go. I'm Ethan McKinley, and I have 2 front teeth.
I'm Justin Orlando, and I have 2 front teeth.
I'm Michael Rinkovich, and I have 2 front teeth.
Ryan Anderson, I like your truck. You overcompensating for something? I'm Vishal Sagi, and I played more snaps in my varsity career than Connor Murphy.
Connor, in my mind, will forever be my definition of commitment. Connor had a great summer, showed up and killed it at our summer workout sessions and skill sessions, and came into our fall camp ready and focused to be a big part of our 2020 success. Connor had a great scrimmage, making several big blocks and catches before suffering a season-ending knee injury in that fall inter-squad scrimmage. Connor easily could have said, I'm done with football, but instead Connor kept showing up to practices, to position meetings, to meals, games. Connor was everyone's biggest fan on the sideline at games and one of my first hugs at the end of all of our games. I'm proud of the man Connor is, and I'm thankful I had the opportunity to be his coach this past year and learn and grow from watching him work through adversity this year. I cannot wait to see what successes Connor will have in college and after. Connor is currently deciding where he will attend college in the fall, either at Ole Miss, Texas State, and A&M as some of the possibilities.
Ryan Back's a really good athlete, really good leader, probably one of the best quarterbacks we've had. He was the first quarterback to lead us to the 4th round in 6A playoffs. Shout out to him. The one funny thing Ryan says to me is, T, love the shirt.
All right, guys, it's pregame speech time. We need to go out there and do what we do. They shouldn't be able to compete with us.
Hey Hunter, sorry I can't come to IHOP today. My mommy made me pancakes at home. I'm sorry.
Ryan Back is one of the hardest workers and most dedicated players I've ever been around. I never once had to question if Ryan was putting in the extra effort and putting in the extra work to get better. In fact, it was normally the opposite. I would have to tell Ryan, hey, you need to take a rest. You can rest your arm. It's okay. He was always ready to put in the extra work. Ryan was on varsity for 3 years and as a backup for 2 of those. And Ryan never gave up. He stuck with the program. He committed to us. He trusted his coaches. And he had an incredible senior season. And I'm so proud to have been a part of it. One of the funny things about Ryan is that if you know him, you know that he's actually a 70-year-old man inside a teenager's body. He would write horrible dad jokes on all of our game day tests for me to read whenever I was grading them, which I do appreciate. But worst of all, his favorite candy is a Tootsie Roll. And I really don't know anybody else that actually likes those. So in all seriousness, Ryan, again, thank you so much for everything you've given to the program over the last 4 years. I love you, and I can't wait to watch you compete at the next level. Thanks.
Charles Morris is a really good leader, really good athlete, even though he missed 2 years, sadly, with injuries. His season had to end with injuries. Remember, his first was his shoulder. I said, what happened to your shoulder? And he said, he broke it, and he had to have surgery. He and he didn't get a lot of practice time this year, sadly, but you know, he's a really good leader, really good encourager on the sideline, and I'm obviously going to miss him.
Hey guys, I'm Chuck.
Charles, first of all, thank you for the last 4 years in this program. I've had the pleasure of knowing you for the last 3 and getting to be your quarterback coach for the last 2. And during this time, I've watched you battle through injury and adversity and never give up. The countless hours that you spent rehabbing and at practice is something that we can all commend, and I really, really appreciate your dedication to this program. One of the highlights of my year this year was getting to see you suit up again as a senior after battling back from injury this summer. It's one of the coolest things of the year for me. You know, I'll never forget our countless conversations and warm-ups and practice talking A&M versus Texas football. And you always stuck up for your Aggies no matter what, even though Texas still has the 27-25 win back in 2011 and bragging rights there. But in all seriousness, Charles, thank you so much for everything you've done for this program.
Ryan Anderson, he's a really good leader, and obviously we're going to miss him, and he's going to be a really good guy in college. And you know, Ryan, you're going to do great things. And one day when I walk over to the car, he like starts his car automatically, and I push the key and it starts, and I hear it start, and I say, "Is that Ryan Anderson's Tahoe?"
Hey, I'm Landon Watson.
It's 2017, 3rd and 13, big play of the game. Freshman A-team championship.
It's 3rd and 13, RJ steps back. Ryan Anderson, pressure. Oh, no, RJ gets out of it. 45, touchdown!
Hi, I'm Ryan Anderson. Oh wait, what am I saying? Justin.
Oh, yes.
I'm Ryan Anderson, and I cannot make a free throw to save my life.
Start over. Okay, there we go.
I'm Hunter Ross. I'm Justin Orlando.
I'm Jordan Kempema.
I'm Vishal Sagi.
I'm Michael Mastrocasa.
And I'm Anthony Munoz.
And we hate Ryan Anderson.
Ryan Anderson, number 25, tight end. Ryan is the best blocking tight end that I've ever had the pleasure to coach. Very, very unique kid. You know, talk about the type of player that a championship team needs to go for a long run in the playoffs, to win championships. This is the type of player that every team needs. He was able to go from defensive line to tight end. He was able to overcome some injuries that really sidelined him for a while, and was definitely able to come back and really dominate a position that's extremely hard to play because of the many different rules, the many different types of people with block, the routes you have to run, and Ryan did it with ease. One of the things that I'm going to remember the most about Ryan was we had a little time off, and we were doing these Zoom meetings in the morning, and Ryan said, "Hey coach, I'm not going to be able to make the wake-up call." I was like, "Okay, you know, he's usually on time." And I said, "You know, what's up?" He said, "Well, I'm going to do some fishing in the morning." I said, "Okay, just make sure you send me pictures of those fish." And sure enough, every morning when we went to our second meeting, I'd get a text message of speckled trout, of some redfish, and things that he had caught every morning. Well, guess what? That week right there, reset him. Next week he came out and was dominating on the front.
Bowen Lewis, obviously, he's a really good athlete, one of the best players I've had, and I remember my junior year against Westwood, he told me that he tore his ACL, and I said, "Yikes, that hurts." And then the second game when we played Roosevelt, and I say, "Oh, I wonder why Bowen's not in the game," and he said, same injury he had last year, so obviously it's a stunner that Bowen ended his season with 2 torn ACLs in both knees.
Hi, I'm Bowen Lewis, and I have the knees of an 80-year-old. I'm Bowen Lewis, and my brother's better looking than me.
Hey Bowen, I texted you about 3 hours ago about 20 times. You still haven't responded.
Hi, my name's Bowen Lewis. Actually, it's Caleb Lewis. No, it's Bowen Lewis. Let's see if you can figure it out.
My name is Bowen Lewis, and my brother's a better athlete than me.
Turn around. Every now and then I get a lead.
Number 28, Bowen Lewis, running back. Bowen, hard to believe, 4 years. It's been a great 4 years. Bowen and I have gotten to know each other very, very well. He's had to endure countless inquiries about how much he's been eating or how much he weighed at the time, and tolerated me on that. But, just an incredibly coachable kid who's had great success, has been a great teammate, great person the whole way through. Tried to find a way to get him to stay for one more year, maybe a red shirt or something along those lines. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. So I know he's going to be on to great success at the next level. Bowen was an explosive football player for us. He was a threat to score anytime he touched the football and made our offense really, really dynamic. He scored over 26. He scored 26 touchdowns. He had over 3,000 total yards of offense and 2,000 yards rushing during his Viper career. And maybe the first and only guy to rush for a touchdown on a torn ACL. That gives you any indication of his toughness and what kind of player he was. Had a great senior year coming back from an injury and adversity, and performed great, especially thought about the Austin High game where he just sort of dominated and carried us to a great playoff victory, and was doing it again the next week before he unfortunately went down again. But through all his adversity and success, he stayed grounded and been the same person. And I'm so thankful and appreciative of that. After the final game he played this year when he was hurt, he was focused on praising his teammates, his fellow running backs who had actually come in to replace him and done a great job. And he was so proud of them. And that just sort of summed up what he's all about. Love coaching you. Love you. Can't wait to see what you do next. Great career.
RCP, obviously a great leader. Sometimes he runs a little late, and I'll say, "Why are you late, RCP?" He said, "I overslept." And RCP always oversleeps. Obviously, he's a great leader, great athlete, and always really fast. And I remember Coach Wolkine say at boot camp, "RCP, why are your shorts? Why is your shirt not tucked in?"
I remember in junior year boot camp, he shows up like right at the bell, and we're all like ripping his clothes off of him, trying to get him dressed. and then like 5 minutes later, during the national anthem, from his locker, Blueface starts playing out of his phone.
Gosh dang it, RCP.
Number 32, Charles Roberts Perkins, running back. RCP. A lot of love, RCP. Hey, great job this year. Really, really proud of RCP. Came a long way. Tons of development in terms of his growth and maturity and his performance on the field. He really improved as a running back, improved his skills in a lot of ways. Wanted to get better at catching the ball, did that. A really good blocker for us. And, that showed when he was ready to step in at the end of the year and play his part and fill his role. I'm so excited to see him do that. It's really been fun. Also made a huge contribution on special teams, something he and I talked about going into the season, that we were going to need from him, and he really did the job and was a big part of that. And a couple of memorable moments in special teams from him. First one was against Hutto. Opening kick. We're getting ready for the Tommy touchdown, and the thing we needed is a good kickoff return to set us up in perfect field position, and boy, RCP delivered on that, got us to midfield on a great return, and that was awesome. And then the Brennan playoff game, we've just gone up by 2 touchdowns, and we're sort of kicking off, and we're kind of trying to seal the deal, and we kick it deep, and RCP's flying down like he always does, and he absolutely runs over a blocker for Brennan, just runs right through him, and everybody was hyped up, and it was just like, yeah, we've controlled this game. We're advancing to the 4th round, setting the tone. It was awesome. RCP, great job this year.
Weldon Allen, obviously, he's a really good athlete. I've known him since my 4th grade year. Weldon's going to do great things in college. He's a really good athlete. He's really good at motivating. He does signs of knowing the play signal for the offense, and he does a good job. going to miss him.
All right, going back to what Tommy says, Weldon is not athletic and he is not motivated.
Weldon, I know you might not have the most catches or touchdowns on the team, but you got the most black halos, so that works.
You know, Weldon's the type of player that every team needs, especially every championship team needs. I know for our position, he was a really, really great addition and really carried us through some times and some drills that were really, uncertain. And I always called Weldon clinic tape, because if I ever needed somebody to get in there and show the rest of the group what the feet were supposed to look like, what the technique was like, and then obviously do it at a very fast pace, Weldon was my guy. And for a group that we have to do so many different things at the tight end H-back spot, to have a guy like that who's able to show people who may be young, players that may have not played the position their entire career, and really let them see what it's supposed to look like. Weldon was our guy, and it was really, really helpful for us to have a guy like that. I'll always remember Weldon because he was able to come to practice with a great attitude. He was able to be there for his teammates, to be the board guy, and then was always reliable when it came to actually showing the rest of the group what technique was supposed to look like. We know Weldon will do great things after high school. We know Weldon's going to do great things in life with his work ethic, with his attention to detail, and I really look forward to seeing the man you're going to turn into.
Jackson Mogardus, obviously he's a great role model and a really great runner. He obviously had some good runs his senior year. Obviously I remember when we were blowing out McNeil, he got some playing time and he said, "Coach, what should I do to get better?" And he got into a game and got a lot better this year. Obviously he was a great Pop Warner player, great example, great role model. And obviously, he's going to do great things in college.
Bogey, I wish I could dance like you.
Hey, Aspen, will you come to my baseball game tonight? Yeah, sure, sweet. Come. Thanks.
Number 43, Jackson Bogardus, running back. So weird to say that name, Jackson. I really don't even know who that is, but of course, we all know him as Bogey, and it's a fitting description of a guy who I think just brings so much positive energy and enthusiasm to everything he does. And that's certainly what he did to our running back group and to our team this year. Started his senior season off with a bang in the epic dance battle at our lock-in, and have to say on the record that he was robbed. He did an amazing job. It was awesome to see him do that. But on the field, he had a great year as well. Developed as a running back, ran the ball really, really well. In practice and in the games, you saw him do that, and be counted on to really run in between the tackles to get us those tough yards, ran power. That was his sort of signature play. And I just loved coaching Bogey. I loved talking with him about all the food we like to eat, and just a great guy, great teammate. Love him. Great job this year, Bogey. Man, really appreciate working with you. Enjoyed it.
Ethan Colady, he's a great leader, great young man, and he is going to do great things in the future. Obviously, Ethan, you need to get a little bigger in the offseason.
Colady, you're small, but you still beat me almost every day in practice.
Ethan is the epitome of a great teammate. Ethan made it a point to show up every day, ready to work with a smile on his face, and out of this world effort, regardless if it was a team drill or a scout team. Ethan brought his best daily. One of my favorite memories of Ethan will always be Ethan's teammates exploding with excitement when he would make a great play at practices or at our Coppers Cove scrimmage, scoring on a wheel route. You can always tell how important a player is to a team by how they respond when that player has success. I saw Ethan get mobbed by his teammates after catching wheel routes in our scrimmages for touchdowns, and saw his teammates go nuts celebrating his success. I'm going to miss spending time with Ethan in meetings and practices. We'll miss seeing him in the wide receiver meeting room with a big smile on his face and a great attitude. And I'm always going to be grateful for Ethan letting me be his coach. Ethan will be attending the University of Arkansas in the fall.
All right.
Luke Draken's a great long snapper. He's one of my besties forever. Obviously, one day in my memories with Luke, when the Broncos are just not playing good, I say, Luke, why did the Broncos lose? And he said, no reason. And I think Luke is the same way Fisk is.
Hey, hold my gloves while I snap. Oh, we're not going? I need my gloves back.
I feel bad for saying this, but every time Luke tried to come up with like his own like original joke, the room would just go dead silent.
Man, Luke Draken, number 84, played wide receiver for us past couple of years. It has been a pleasure coaching this kid. He has great positive attitude every day. Really set the mood for practice. Man, during individual drills, one of the things I remember, we'll be out there throwing routes to the receivers in our individual drills, and Luke always made me feel like Tom Brady, man. He always hyping me up, telling me I'm dropping dimes every time I throw, making it a lot of fun. Really knowing when to have fun and when really to lock in on those big weeks. A funny story, or really a few funny stories about Luke, is that, while we're doing those individual drills, he's like, Coach, man, let me throw it. Let me spin it a few times. And always talking about how good of a quarterback he is. So me and Coach Timmerman finally give in and be like, all right, go up there, spin a few and see what you do. He goes up there, throws a few, and we kind of go crazy. So he made sure it's positive, fun atmosphere. So Draken, thank you for always putting a smile on our face and making each day fun, man. Good luck in the future. We know you're going to do great things, and we're going to miss you.
Lucas Dawes, a great teammate, great energetic leader. He says some jokes at team dinners, which is funny. Sometimes I'll say, ooh, tea, loving it.
This is how Lucas Dawes broke his elbow.
Then you put your foot on that ledge.
Okay.
Higher.
Steady. If I had to have a word to describe Lucas, it would be steady. Getting to know and observe Lucas this past year, I've watched him steadily and consistently show up and give his best from summer off season to two-a-days and throughout the football season. Lucas continued to show up and find ways to help us as coaches and his team after an injury with servant's heart and a great attitude. One of my favorite memories of Lucas was watching him continually compete to be a great blocker in all of our team drills. I watched him put coaching and practice to work, and I saw him improving this daily. I'm going to miss seeing Lucas every day at workout and practice, and I can't wait to see what success he has in the future. Lucas is still finalizing his plans for the fall, but will surely be an asset wherever he chooses to attend.
All right.